Hello and welcome to the Aries Full Moon 2021 Community Ceremony. My name is Judy Keating and I am one of the partners in Wise Transformation. Wise Transformation is a group of two women, myself and Bonnie Salomon, who our intent is to bring elemental wisdom and feminine magic back into everyday life. And just to give you a preview of what's coming, I'm going to talk to you about some upcoming events. And we're going to call in Sacred Space. And we'll talk about the timing, and we'll use the Elemental Forces of Creation Oracle deck to give some ceremonial guidance. When we're together, it's usually about an hour, maybe a little less. But this is time for you to focus in on what you want to achieve in this next 2-week period as we approach the Aries full moon. So one thing I did want to tell you is on Friday, Bonnie Salomon will be hosting our Samhain community ceremony. It's going to be at 10 a.m. in the morning. If you're interested, I will be posting it on our Facebook page, an invitation, or if you're on our email list, you would have gotten the email link. It's going to be the same Zoom room. So do, if you can, attend, because that's a very important wheel point, Samhain. So it's a great time to understand everything about Samhain and to tap into your own wisdom about the wheel of the year. We are so excited. We have just come out of the Galactic Gathering of Wise Women. It was a wonderful in-person event, and we had so many people who said they were interested in the content of that event that we are hosting something a little different, but it'll have some of the same presenters, so you'll get to see some great content. January 29th and 30th, it'll be an online, worldwide event. There's going to be 10 speakers. We are preparing the marketing materials, so you'll see the page very soon, but it's called Sovereign Women Living the New Earth Vision. It's going to be all about how we can not only be sovereign in ourselves, but help our communities be sovereign, help people in our lives understand how they can become sovereign. Meaning that we want people to be seen as whole and complete and unto themselves, and that we represent each other through love, compassion, collaboration, and co-creation. So look forward to seeing you in 2022 for that very special event. And also in the beginning of 2022, I'm going to start another circle for Path of the 21st Century Priestess. You can find full details on that at wisetransformation.com. Priestess is a process that has been around since the mid-1990s. It's a 9-month process that you do work individually. You're not by yourself, but you are walking your own path of the priestess, which is understanding your sovereignty, understanding what you have to bring. It gives a lot of great information for exploring your inner realm. It is what we call a lunar journey. It's much more inward driven, but it's done in a community of like-hearted women, and the transformation is quite magical that happens in the process. So if that interests you, go to wisetransformation.com. There's a link with full details for that class. So as we open to the living field of creation today, this beautiful fall day, at least in the Northern Hemisphere, we just invite everybody who's either here or on the recording to put your hands on your belly and take a deep breath and feel your belly rise and fall. And just imagine that you're pulling all of your energy into your center, into your core. You're bringing your presence. You're bringing your awareness. And you're bringing your full self back home. And we just ask that Earth offer us good containment today, that we get to explore these fire and air archetypes that are at play in the sky, but we have Earth's good containment. And water. We ask for your ability to flow, and your ability to play. Bring our childlike self, our ability to wonder. And the air realm, as we now have the fresh air of autumn, we just invite the power of breath today. Let us breathe deeply for all that we want to receive today. And fire, we ask for your power of transformation. And spirit, we ask that you bring unique grace and trust today. Allow us to see the vision for this Aries full moon, for what is our next right action, and how we can hold both Libra and Aquarius, being in relationship and being an individual. And so it is. So when we're in a full moon phase, we have the sun and the moon in opposite archetypes. And this can be a time to release. This is a unique time because we just have had Mercury come direct. So you may notice that you might have a surge of energy, even though we're in a full moon window. That Mercury and Jupiter both going direct have given us sort of a boost. So you might want to be paying attention to where your energy is pulled. What is it you are pulled towards? What is it that has you excited? What is it that wants you to take the next right step? Pay attention to that. So this is a really interesting time in this sky, because Aries is all about individuation. And Libra's sacred path is relationships. So we have the combination of unique individuation in the moon, and the last part of Libra, which is sacred through relationships, in our sun. And the sun and the moon both have influence on us. And even if you don't have Aries or Libra in your chart, you can tap into the power of Aries and the power of Libra. And I'll talk a bit more about that now. The sun, which is in Libra right now, is an air sign. And it teaches the importance of balanced relationships. Libra has the power to see things from all perspectives, all sides, honor each person's point of view. They can balance opposites, consider the options, and mediate well. They create safe space for all the other gates of awareness to be valued. And they're a great social partner, hostess, and companion. And I'm the sign of round table consciousness and sacred right relationship. And round table consciousness is the feminine. It is that hierarchical understanding of everyone has something to contribute, and we want to hear everyone's voice. Aries is a fire sign, and it's the first gate of awareness, and it teaches the meaning of individuation. Aries is all about going first. They are high-spirited and energetic. They love excitement, adventure, play, and competition. As a sacred warrior, I will fight to defend my beliefs and protect what I value in life. I like to go first, birth anew, get something started, and lead the way. They are courageous, trusting, decisive, inspired, and spontaneous. They're all about action. So with our Aries full moon and our Libra sun, we want to first explore with living the sacred through a balanced relationship and Aries forging ahead and loving to go first. How can you individually use both energies right now? So I'm going to just put that question out to you and put on a little music. And we'll all just journal a bit. And when you're done journaling, you can type in the chat or you can unmute if you prefer. We'll just take another few minutes. Okay, so hopefully you have an idea of how you might use both of these energies at this time. And as we begin to explore more deeply, I invite you to share in the chat. Usually when we all share, it's very helpful, not only for each other, but also for the people that listen later. So if you can share, that's great. So we use the Elemental Forces of Creation Oracle, a deck created by Lisa Michaels. She started this community many years ago, and this deck is something that a lot of people have access to. So if you have your own deck, I always encourage you to pull your own cards for this time. But I do pull cards for the collective. And if you're interested in getting a deck and don't have a deck, you can let me know that, and I can help you with that. So let's go ahead and move forward. If you have the deck, you want to start with your earth cards. When I pulled for the collective, I got the earth card, honoring cycles. And so thinking about the physical areas of your life, that includes your body, your finances, your environment. That could be your business, your car, your home, your belongings, anything tangible, physical that you are working with. Could also include your calendar. So where do you need to apply balance and right action in the physical areas of your life? That's the probing question for right now. Because we're looking to balance Aries and Libra. Where do you need to apply balance and right action in the physical areas of your life? And again, I'll just put on some music so you can journal. So take time if you need to finish up, but I did want to share one thing that I got is, especially during the winter time, the fall and the winter, I have a tendency to need more rest. So what I've determined is I need to schedule more time for things, meaning in the summer months, I have a tendency to really rush and get stuff done because I have the sun energy. But in the fall, I've noticed that I need more time for quiet. So I'm going to give myself an extra 15 minutes for every task on my calendar, just so I can slow down. That was just something I got. So if you want to share anything in the chat that you got would be helpful for other people, that would be great. And you don't have to.
I need to delegate my bookkeeping and tax preparations for my business. I spend more time stressing about budgeting, balancing the books, and so I realized I just need to delegate that. That way I don't have to physically do it, and it gets done correctly. And then also to help me to budget and save for the preparation for the repairs of my car and preparing for maternity leave in March. And then I've been watching, I learned recently, it was like how to track your energy based on your marketing, or how to like put them together, like do the creation in one point, do the curation in one point, put the content, and then it's like a whole cycle. So I really want to start implementing that system in my marketing, and especially with the holidays coming up, busier seasons. Now is a good time for me to focus on marketing because it's a slower time. So.
Beautiful. Thank you, Kristen.
Welcome.
Okay. Appreciate that when people share very much. All right, so we're going to move on to water, unless anyone else wants to share.
I'm happy to share.
Wonderful, Heather.
I'm finding that as my body moves deeper through perimenopause, that this is reminding me to find the time and the space to try to create a little bit of balance in all the transformation that's happening and honoring what's going on right now. That would be really nice.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Well, I'll share kind of on a similar note because I'm also dealing with the perimenopause thing. And I realized that I need to really focus on my nourishment and my exercise because, you know, just trying to keep my body in good shape as, you know, as it's on its way out. And I don't want to think of it that way. But also I'm trying to work on, you know, the physicality of my home and making it suit me and how I want it to be.
Beautiful. Thank you, ladies. I really appreciate everything you're saying, and I'm learning from everything you're sharing. So thank you. So when we think about water, which is our emotional realm, I pulled the inner child card for the collective. And where do you need to consider your feelings first before considering everyone else's? Where do you need to consider your feelings first before considering everyone else's? And if you have your own deck, pull your own card and see what guidance water has for you. But I pulled inner child. Just going to take one more minute for people to finish. So I got a little surprised. My inner child was like, you need to consider your feelings first more often. Like, you need to flip that script and value my feelings first more often than not. So that was a little surprise. She was very insistent and loud, but in a good way. Anybody get any other messages?
My inner child said something very similar. It was to express my feelings and not suppress them. My feelings are valid, and to honor the ebbs and flows on either side of it. Even when fear comes up, to honor that.
Beautiful.
I also drew the inner child card. And I put that I need to honor my feelings and not fight them and let them flow and be my own advocate. And also my inner child just wanted to tell me that she wants to play and to find playmates.
Beautiful.
My inner child was very loud and said that everywhere, every time, I need to consider my feelings first, because feelings are the storytellers of the heart. So if I need to acknowledge where I am at the moment and honor that. And also, I was told not to try to control my feelings, because like the water, you can't really control it. You just need to let it pass through you and try to get the information that I need to get as to why these feelings are happening, and then move forward from there once I honor self and recognize.
Thank you. Thank you all for sharing. Just so appreciate that all of our inner children are so wise. Just beautiful sharings, ladies. Thank you. I think we need to have more play. Maybe next time I'll blow bubbles first. So I pulled the vibration card for air, and air is all about our mental realm. It's our thoughts, our beliefs. It's the vibration that we hold. And where are your beliefs and actions out of sync? And this may not be the best question for you. If this question doesn't resonate for you, please just ask air what message it has for you. But I was given this question: where are your beliefs and actions out of sync? So if you want to share anything you got, I got a big message about overcommitting and then not delivering the quality that I want. So more is not always better. At least that's just as a message for me, that I want to focus on just a few things rather than too many. And rushing about is when my beliefs and actions are out of sync.
It's funny. You got vibration and I got peace. And what I was thinking about is, well, peace, or, you know, that's just a higher vibration of being. And even though I believe that that's a better way to be, I have a lot of turmoil, and I was thinking about it. My emotions, which is my water, hijacks my air, which is my mind. So I have to get better at, and I am getting better at it, allowing my emotions, you know, to observe them, but not let them take over my brain. And just to believe in the bigger plan as opposed to how I want things to be.
Beautiful. Thank you, Tina.
I struggled with this question, and I was bumping up with some resistance and trying to have a discovery, put something on the page. And while I was in that space of that happening, towards the end, hiding from my wishes came out. Particularly in my spiritual and professional areas of my life.
And Heather, thank you for speaking into that bumping up against or resistance, because the questions that I come up with are, you know, just the questions I come up with. So if ever my questions don't resonate for you, you can always just ask air what message it has. And I admire your fortitude for hanging in there, and you did glean something I think that's important, and I appreciate you sharing it. But I just want to make it clear to everybody that, you know, I come up with questions that are in alignment with the timing, but if they don't resonate with anyone ever, just put it aside and open to what air wants to tell you, or earth wants to tell you, or maybe a question comes to you and you could share it in the chat. We could add it into the mix. But thank you for sharing, Heather, very much.
I kind of had difficulty with this too. But I always feel like resistance is a way for me to grow. So my thoughts, I'm just thinking of lately, like, okay, they haven't probably been very high vibrational, and need to change in order for me to manifest the things that I'm working on. Continuing to work through money blocks, or even trusting in timing, and that I'm supported, instead of trying to control everything, and getting too much in my head, whether I'm worried about something or thinking things over and over and over, instead of just trusting that, everything's going to happen where it's supposed to.
Hmm. Good awareness is good probing, ladies. Appreciate that very much. So I pulled the power of action card, which, considering it's the Aries full moon, didn't surprise me, but I did kind of come back to self with this. Where do you need to take action to improve your relationship with yourself? Where do you need to take action to improve your relationship with yourself? Was the question I came up with. If you're not done, please take another minute. Don't want to rush you. We're right on time. So my surprise answer for today, you'd think action would be something outward. My big action in my relationship to myself is have more quiet.
Mine is to schedule that time on my calendar for working out and my meditation practice as well, so that I'm getting the body movement and quiet time for myself as well.
Thank you, Kristen.
I actually drew transformation, but I kind of did both because, like Kristen, I'm like, I need to be able to honor my body through nutrition, exercise, and also contemplation. And the transformation, I need to be able to transform my reactivity to my emotions and watch them. I mean, I have a big reactivity to how I feel, which changes how I view things. And I just feel like I really need to be able to transform that sooner.
Thank you, Tina.
As of late, I have been feeling pretty scattered and rushed to address a lot of things about myself simultaneously. And it's not getting me anywhere. It's just too much. And what I heard was just keep it simple, baby steps, be curious, not condemning, prioritize the areas so that I can do the baby steps and be silly and fun as best I can.
Wonderful. Thank you all. Thank you all. And thank you, Fire. Moving to Spirit. I got Essence Expression when I pulled the card for the collective. And what are you resisting taking action on that Spirit has been nudging you to do? And if you don't feel like you're resisting taking action, then what else do you want Spirit's help with at this time of the Aries full moon? If this question doesn't resonate for you, there's no problem with that. Just figure out how you can use this next few minutes to get a message from Spirit that will be helpful. Okay, because of time, I'm going to ask that we move to the next question and we'll share after, which is basically, what's your unified field message from your Libra Sun and Aries full moon? In other words, when you put all the different things that you got together, what is your, like, what would be your summary of an action plan, or how are you going to use this time to help yourself with everything that you got? Take the next minute to finish up and just make sure that you give yourself a moment to just really appreciate the work you've done in the last hour. Anything anybody wants to share?
I'll share. So Spirit has been telling me that I need to create a mini group program and offer it at a discount price. And so it's come up several times. But my unified field message said, by balancing my time, delegating tasks, considering my feelings first, I can vibrate at a higher frequency and be more effective and creative in my life and business, and ultimately manifest my desires with ease and grace.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Kristen. There's no have to share, but just want to give anyone a chance to speak if they want to. Appreciate you all talking today. It's been nice to have a conversation.
How about my unified field message?
Mhm.
I was looking at the beautiful picture that you have, and the message that came up was that I was living in one or two of the realms, and that I needed to draw information from the other realms to be able to move through this period of time.
Very good awareness. Thank you for sharing that, Heather. Okay. Well, if you're listening to the recording, I hope that you have appreciated the wisdom these women have chosen to share today. And if you like these calls, please join if you can. The next one that I'll be doing, please remember, Bonnie's doing hers Friday at 10 a.m. for Samhain. If you can attend that, that's great. Bonnie's calls are always full of great information and heart and wisdom. So the next call is going to be Scorpio's new moon, and it's going to be Wednesday, November 3rd at noon. And this will be the last EDT call for the year, because the weekend after that is when we go fall back. If you live in any state but Arizona, I think, in the United States, you will fall back after that, the weekend of November 7th. So join if you can, noon on November 3rd, Scorpio new moon. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your time, your effort, your energy. And if you're on the recording, thank you for doing this work, getting the messages from the elements and utilizing the sky mysteries to inform us. So we are as above, so below. So helpful for us to create exactly what we want to create by getting help from both the elements and the sky mysteries. Enjoy your Aries full moon. Take good care. Bye.